This is the time, y'all, that Ashley and I are creating a product for you based on a lot of the stuff we've been talking about, and we are 10 toes down looking into how AI is affecting employment,
Mhm.
how AI is eviscerating. Now, Ashley and I are calling it the job-apocalypse. And trust me when I say what I'm getting ready to say next. It is having an effect. It is and will affect your job. Now, what we are doing and what we're creating for you is something that in certain cases helps mitigate any loss. And we don't know now. We're just going to riff on it. You get the pleasure of looking in as we think about how best to help you.
Mhm.
Of course, it's going to be heavily edited and redacted since that seems to be what people do nowadays. Anyway, so go ahead, Ash. What are you And again, this doesn't have to be performative because I'll edit a lot of stuff out, but
Yeah.
what kind of ideas are you looking at? And I'm going to hunt down some of the ones that I've already come up with, but whatever.
Okay. So one thing that I noticed as far as like a huge pain point when it comes down to AI and jobs and kind of where we're headed is obviously understanding AI, right? Like what current skill set that I have if I wanted to get into any of the jobs that AI are creating, that we kind of went over in one of our podcasts is actually probably our last one we talked about
Hmm.
that.
Hmm.
And so I think that seeing how your current skills can transfer or transition into any AI created careers is probably a first step. So maybe like a AI career readiness assessment or something. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just thinking like how ready are you to kind of integrate AI to what you're currently doing? Or what do you need to, what skills you need to possess to
Yeah.
really understand AI? I don't know. That's just like my first stop. Like,
Yeah.
it's the first thing I thought about.
And that's along those lines. I was looking at the article that you sent that talked about how AI might strain the economy before it booms.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if y'all are listening to this and you've already been affected, and I've got friends that have been affected by this, literally whole departments being let go. I have, for a variety of reasons, AI might have been the excuse, but then it could have been political.
For
No harm,
sure.
no foul. Hey,
Yeah.
whatever parties wins gets to make the rules. Whatever. I have no
Mhm.
feeling about it. But what I do have a feeling about is how you protect yourself. And looking at it from that perspective, Ashley, is like the protection. How
Yeah.
can we go out there and provide something for folks that here is your Kevlar against
Mm.
the job apocalypse. Here's your bunker against the
Now,
job apocalypse. I don't know.
and no, now
Again,
that you mentioned bunker, the only thing that comes to mind, because why do people create bunkers? Is to like have resources, right? Something in their back pocket that when something happens, you have that backup. So now I'm thinking of like an AI resource toolkit. I don't know. This is kind of why I'm
yeah,
throwing out there too. That could be a good resource, just so you will know.
sure.
I'm still not tracking as far as what will be a part of this toolkit, resource toolkit. But I do think that'd be a way to kind of provide a little bit of protection. I don't know. What do you think, Randy?
Yeah, this is again what we're riffing on, and we're trying to come up with the thing that will stand the test of time.
Mm-hmm.
So, because if you remember, we've had this happen before, where jobs have been lost because of some new technology, well, there's Bitcoin, and then, well, people were quietly quitting because they got a bag now because they invested in some Bitcoin. Just give me $1,000 worth, and now they're like rich.
Mm-hmm.
Little things like that. So, and then so that may be if you were owner of a company and now you got employees that don't give a darn about the job, the quiet quitting.
Yeah.
Now we got people quiet hoarding the job. saying, I hope they don't see me. They see you. And then we got companies, Ashley, that are overreacting,
Mm,
thinking, well, I'll just replace you with this bot.
mm.
Like we seen um, Clavio do. Well, I'm just getting rid of 700 customer service people, and I'm putting that bot in there, and their customer says that bot is BS, and you're BS because you did this, and then they
Yep.
bounced.
Hmm.
Oh, wait, what? Now they're trying to recover. All right, well, I think we kind of mentioned that, but
Hmm.
remember, y'all, when things are in the dirt, then a if you're in a hole, stop digging.
Yeah.
That's what Ashley was, I think, referring to when we say, well, what's in your bunker? What's in
Yeah.
your metaphorical bunker?
Yes.
Now, we if you look at us, we probably look about the same age, but I'm older than Ashley. And I'm just saying that she looks older, but it's because I look so young. But
Hmm.
so we deliberately have we came in as a part of this collaboration because we're different age groups, because guess what, somebody in their 50s has a different perspective than somebody in their 30s
Yeah.
about work. Somebody in their 50s are going, just get me to, maybe a couple more years and I'm good. I can get some some part A insurance, so my if I break my leg I can get it fixed, whatever. And then somebody in their 30s going, bro, I need some insurance. I got a family. I got a
Mhm.
little dude. Ashley's little dude just came around the corner and says, "Mom, I want to get in on this. Whatever you're doing." He's a little guy. So you see where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Of a certain age, you can't afford not to have work,
Yeah.
some kind of work. Now,
Hmm.
again, we primarily talk about employment things. AI is here affecting that, and then we're saying, let's create something that helps people. It may be hey, let us point you to some funding opportunities,
Yeah.
and then what we may do is do a like evergreen webinar. And in this evergreen webinar, we can perhaps take highlights from some of the things that we've talked about before and or a brand new thing, make sure that it's evergreen, and then that leads to the product. So that's one of the things that we're kind of thinking about now, y'all. If you see this video and you say, I would like to comment on that, make this for me,
Yeah.
then just put it in the comment section. And if you really like the kind of stuff that we talk about, we want you to subscribe to the channel. We really want you to help us stay together,
Hmm.
right? I mean, and I mean that not in a romantic sense. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Don't get nasty over here.
They know. They know.
But you know, because otherwise we constantly look and go, hey, maybe this ain't working because people,
Hmm.
are just out there listening and not doing anything else. So this is our way of saying, buy our stuff. This is our ask. Buy our stuff. Let us know that you care to keep us around, because we'll keep going deep and finding things that help you and talking about those things and breaking them down and then saying, now this is how you leverage it. That's how I see us going. Is like we don't just riff, we don't just talk. We say, now here's a tool, here's a thing, here's what we found, here's a new category of work. And that's what I did a lot of research, Ashley, last week, because we took last week off,
Yeah.
is I did a lot of research around what is coming
Hmm.
in terms of jobs that are going to be created. And it kind of like what your article says, it's going to go before it goes boom.
Yep. And you know my thoughts on that as to why, because I'm starting to see this a little bit in what I do day to day. Sometimes transitioning over to automated services is not as easy um as we make it. A lot of the equipment, like you just mentioned, where an organization had to let go over maybe 100 folks in their customer service department. But essentially, a lot of those robots, they cost a lot of money to employers right now. And some of them don't necessarily have that to make that transition. And if they start to make that transition, it's going to take a little time. before they can figure out the secret sauce as to what a robot can truly cover and for them to maintain their clientele and what can an actual employee
Yeah.
cover to maintain their clientele. Because just like you were saying, Randy, earlier, somebody had the robot customer service and they like, that's a BS, right? Because there's some things that humans actually need to do versus just an automated robot, right? And so I know it's going to take time, but this is something that is coming. And all we're trying to do is to make sure that you have all of the resources prepared for that. Rather, you are an organization, an employer, an individual, it affects everyone a part of that job ecosystem. And so we just want to make sure we create some tools and some products that can be able to help you guys stay abreast of these
Yeah.
emergent trends of AI.
It's incredible. Um, One of the things that I'm kind of scared for organizations
Hmm.
because these organizations get all hyped up. This is my point. They get all hyped up and they go, "Yeah, we're good, right? Because we got this new shiny thing, and then this new shiny thing is breaking."
Yeah.
So, on one hand, we're definitely going to be building things, and I got a couple of ideas that I'm going to pop up on screen, y'all.
Okay.
And one is um this one right here. I don't think I've shown you this actually. So here's this one right here, y'all. And let me double make sure I got the right view. I want to make sure I got the right view here on screen because I noticed. Oh, speaker. I should probably do speaker view. So look at this. This one right here is something I put together the other day, and it could be of benefit to individuals, but also companies. All right. Can you see that all right, Ashley?
Yep, I can.
All right. So let's think about this, right? Ashran Career Services, AI as your training partner. Just diving right into it and says AI is the devil. No, AI is your training partner. That's how we want you to see it. Addressing workforce gaps without this is huge now. I actually the other day bought a domain the other day called Human in the Mix AI. And I based that domain name on the fact that people are just, throwing eggs at all AI solutions.
Hmm.
So you got some smart aleck out there saying, "Hey, it's all AI," and then people are going, "That my cousin lost her job to AI. I hate you. Get out of here." So I'm saying human in the mix AI.
Okay.
So a person, somebody in the
Hmm.
mix of what you're doing. So let's create that for you, kind of thing, right? So that's a domain that I bought. I don't know, I'm gonna spin it up. But look at this, y'all. And then Ashley, because you're seeing this for the first time too, this is like AI as your training partner. So this is just a dashboard or just the landing page possible. I don't know yet. We're kind of going over some stuff, right? So look at this, the workforce challenge. We kind of know what that is.
Hmm.
These things, data entry processing. So then what we would be doing, y'all, is saying to you company, here's how you can introduce some of that, whether you're using, tools like Marbleism or you're using, AI voice agents or whatever it is, right? Because all that stuff looks fancy and it looks nice. And you go, oh, that's, like Batman cartoon. That's great. And then you kind of use the stuff and you start scratching your nose like, it's quite
Yeah.
not doing what I want to do. Or it works beautifully. I got a client now. We just booked a guy, Rob and I, one of the other podcasts that I do.
Yeah.
We just booked a guy, and he has a very specific pain point, and we're going to help him with that one pain point, 10 grand, one
Hmm.
pain point, and it's so much of a hassle for him. He's like, I'm happy to pay that to get that off my back, right? So anyway,
Hmm.
that's where we will go and use some tools and stuff like that to go, okay, you don't call him, you call this.
Okay.
And only if it escalates to a certain level do you talk to him, kind of a thing, right? And that would immediately get him a return on his time. So we already did the calculation. So look at this repetitive task burden, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah. what actually AI actually does. So this is us saying, here's what we know it does, but then here's that human touch part. Perhaps this becomes one of the things that we're out there presenting. I don't know yet.
Okay.
I riffed on some things, Ashley, and I says, hey, maybe we can uh, put something like this out in the marketplace and see how it returns us a return on that time and stuff. But
Okay.
look at this, human connection remains central. So could we maybe put something together that keeps the human in the mix, if you will,
Mm,
and then say, here's how we can show you organization,
okay.
whether it's schools, whatever it is, right? Because we've talked about quite a few things in our videos. But then AI handles the background. Let us set you up with that. Here's what we recommend. DIYers, y'all can go do it yourself, or Ashley and I can, put it together for you. Now, again, we will tell you to have us show up. It's a lot.
Hmm.
I'm not even gonna say how much. It's a lot. Certain things are a little. And these are some of these other things that will, off the shelf type stuff. Because you got a lot of people says, I can do some things. Okay. Or I can get my person that's still in the company to do them,
That too.
implement them. That's fine too. And then we'll be in the background just kind of helping you bolt it on. Here's the recipe. We'll help you make sure you got the right utensils, et cetera, right temperature, yeah, whatever. Okay, so that's that part. Overcoming fear factor. So I just put this together. What are your thoughts so far? Obviously not 2024, but anyway, it's just a
Yeah,
basic landing page.
it's
What are
a
your thoughts so
template.
far?
So I love where we're heading with that, to be able, again, metaphorically, this looks like the bunker that we were just referring
Mhm.
to as far as having those resources and how we can come in and assist you get prepared, for what's coming. So I like it. I would love to explore a little bit more. You have some tabs up here. I don't know. Do you just have this landing page or did you kind of fill out each
Oh,
portion here?
wait, there's more.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Like I says, we invite you in right now to look at how we've been thinking about this. Now you
Hmm.
may look at this if y'all looking in on this and going, these guys are way off. I don't need that. Okay, well, in the comment section, tell us what you do need. We'll go build that. All right,
Hmm.
here's another one. Oh, I got a third one too. So I put together three. This one is company focused,
Okay.
and if you notice, it says don't hire more, empower what you have. Now I'm going to tell you, I listen to Jay Abraham. He's an old school, and he's like, I don't know, a million years old. But every time I'm listening to this guy, I, I just get excited because he talks like, look, stop doing how he calls top, how do you think he calls it top of funnel? He says stop doing top tier type things. Hey, run more ads, get more people. He says, look at your company. And Jay, if you're hearing this, I am definitely riffing on some of your stuff and as a result of some of your stuff. So just know. He
Hmm.
says, just look at what you got and make that better. Try that because if you do it that way, you have already put cost into what you got. And you're basically ringing out betterment. It's kind of like think about a house, and you got this house, right? And you got the rooms, and you don't use all the rooms, but you use, company comes over, you got the room that don't, nobody go in, whatever. And then you start a podcast, and you says, well, no, nobody go in there anyway. I'm gonna use that room. Now it becomes your office. Oh, okay. And then you go down the basement, right? You may go down the basement to, do laundry or something like that. But then you look around and go, you know, if I put some two by fours up and some drywall, I can make a living space out of this.
Yeah,
I'm already paying for it.
that's true.
And if, cousin Joe want to come over, he needs to stick around for a couple, I can rent that. So it's taking what you got already instead of saying,
Yeah.
well, I think I need to go buy a bigger house. No. So with this approach, y'all, it could be where Ashley and I are brainstorming constantly on these things. How can we help you empower who's already at your company? You then are saying, okay, I can leverage AI because we use it all the time
Yeah.
to just empower who I already have. The traditional hire model is broken. Use AI to handle the busy work so your humans can focus on what they do best. Partner with us, obviously, we will then come in and help you create that scenario.
Now, I already like this approach a little bit better. Only because empowering who you have, I'm all about trying to invest in having those opportunities and career mobility for the current before
Yeah.
bringing in more. And once you bring in more, then that's great too. But it's always good to work with who you have as well.
See, and that's the part of it that then should inspire. If you're listening to this, I'm looking right at you. I'm looking in your eyes right now. And I'm saying, if you're that hiring manager and you have been told, don't hire nobody, and you're sitting over there watching a whole department just buried, and you're going, I can't hire anybody. And they go,
Hmm.
no. And then that they're going to be bringing in some kind of AI solution. And you're saying, I don't know nothing about AI. I use ChatGPT, but then you start worrying, wait a minute, if this thing gets good, gets better than me, eventually they're going to be looking at me.
Hmm.
Okay. So this right here is designed to say, we say leverage it, get everybody AI firsting. It's kind of like what Spotify, the guy over there, Toby Lutke, I think his name is Toby Lutke. He's the CEO of Spotify. And he says to everybody in the organization, you get raises and evaluations based on how you're using AI.
Oh,
Yeah, not running from it, how you're using it to help our company go forward. And then he's told any of the hiring managers, and they got thousands of employees, he says, you cannot hire anyone without first showing me where AI could not do it.
mm,
So nobody comes on if there's an AI solution. So imagine now, Ashley and I coming in and saying, here's what your team could be doing. Especially if you're like, I think this was based on a training company that has teachers and trainers and all this kind of stuff. And it says your training team is drowning in admin, right? Why is your training team doing sales, or why is your training team doing putting in their own stuff?
hmm.
I had a company call me up just the other day, and they says, "Hey, can we meet Monday, which is tomorrow?" And they said, because, we need a little help. I ain't gonna tell you who it is because you'd recognize the company,
Okay.
organization. And it says, you got capacity to help? I says, bro, yes. Because I got people that I can call you up and says, hey, here's, can we, maybe, help on this stuff, kind of stuff. And you know who this organization is too. So I'll be talking with them, and now I'm going to try to dissuade them from hiring me. Yeah,
Okay.
it's the anti-thirsty move.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
person in the club that's too thirsty, you'd be like,
Mm-mm.
there's something
You're
wrong with that
too
dude.
thirsty.
Back in your single days, anti-thirsty. But it's
Yeah.
also the same concept. So my dissuasion from them hiring me would be then saying, let's empower who you have. Let me help you with that.
Interesting.
Right? Because here's what I have found is you become a burden, it's unfortunate, to companies because you're on their bottom line now,
Hmm.
right? And then
Yeah.
they start, it's like any cost you bring in, you'd be like, Netflix better be pot on and popping because if it ain't, that $16 could be going somewhere else, whatever. And when I try to dissuade. I try to go, hey, what if we did this? First, what if you brought me in as 1099, not employee? Because 1099, you go, yeah, I don't want this rest of this contract, you can have your
Yeah.
money back. A
Yeah.
little different than, and you don't never have to worry about being fired. This is again, if you're working for somebody, this is how you never worry about being fired again. That's one of my writings. I use that in my Monetize Your Life series. Never worry about being fired again. That thing prints. Why do you think it prints? People are like, I'm always worried about getting fired, especially now.
Yeah.
But this is how you do it. It's by saying, I no longer work for you, I work for me, and I'm lending you my services. Anytime it don't work out, no harm, no foul, no messy divorce, I just stop working with you.
Yeah.
Or you say, yeah, I don't want to continue the contract. Okay. But you come in with a different attitude versus, whew, man, I hope they don't lay me off. Forget that, man. No more of those days. Been there, done that. And it ain't a good feeling. So anyway, this right here, is if you notice, guys, it's the colors of our company, of our collaboration. We got these colors on purpose. So anyway, this is a part of it, Ash. Even stuff ain't even in here, but it at
Okay.
least helps people start thinking about um, what they could do. Now, it's not built out. It's just one of those ideation landing pages that I like to do to see it.
Yeah.
I kind of visualize it. So y'all get a chance to look in on it. It could look, totally different other than maybe the colors when we build it out. So that's an approach. All right. Now, I'm gonna stop share for a minute because I got the last one I want to show you, and this one's like it's kind of dense, but
Okay.
it's so heavily SEO'd. They put everything in to make sure that thing on its own gets attention.
Okay.
I was like, bro, this when I saw it, I was like, but I get it. You kind of go, okay, because I told it to do specific things, make sure that it's SIO, AEO, AIO, AGE, all these things optimized. And it's like, okay, you want all that? Oh, fine.
Hmm.
So, okay. What are your thoughts so far, Ash, as to the approach of let's do a webinar, which it could be, I think, a webinar that's automated
Yeah.
that perhaps we can do multiple ones because you see we got different landing pages. So we do a webinar that's based on um, pain in the marketplace over here.
Sure.
We come on, hey, Ashran wants to have a conversation with you today. So we're going to be doing this webinar in a dual fashion, blah, blah, blah. And then I like automated webinars because we can go out there and put it out there and test the marketplace
For
versus,
sure.
hey, will you show up? And then like four people show up and you're like, eh.
No, right. And it allows automated people can watch it whenever, right?
Yeah,
All the
I
time.
love
So,
automated webinars.
oh
Man, I
yeah.
want to show up like March 18th at 3:30.
I
I
want
don't
to
know what I'm
show up
gonna
when
be
I
doing.
can.
Yeah, I like to say, oh, 15 minutes from now? Yeah, I'll go and pull the car over and in East Grand Rapids, then by the water and watch your webinar. I do it all the time. So I like
Interesting.
those.
Okay.
And then I've done some that start immediately.
Okay.
Click the button, it starts. So it's like, oh, it does? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It don't
Let's
stop.
listen in. Okay.
Because there ain't no button to say, hey, can I pause this? Mm-mm. Got
Keep
to watch the
going.
whole thing. And the webinars, y'all, they're not big, not all the time. Sometimes this is, 8-minute webinar. And then depending on what else we're presenting, it might go 25 minutes.
Yeah,
I try not to have too long, especially in this day and age, because people got stuff to do. Either
absolutely.
they're in or they're not. Either you're in or you're not. You say this and you go, ooh, I'm in.
And I think I like the webinar approach that funnels into the pages to kind of see what is needed out there. So I do think this would be like an A/B testing of like figuring out like what is most needed. Or you guys can just comment and let us know too. while we research. But I think I like that approach too.
I actually like this site, what I'm going to show you next. It's
Okay.
fun. It's just a lot of stuff on here, but as a reader, I love it. And it's so heavily, it's got, I designed this so that I could put it in the wild, and just the fact that it's got things, um, the kind of things I have on it is designed to attract.
Okay.
I designed this, and it's not out there in the wild yet, but y'all get a chance to check it out. So you ready to take a look at it?
Oh yeah.
All right, and this is now consumer side. In other words, some of the stuff that we do, y'all, is B2B. So we go out to a business and say, how can we help? Organization. How can we help? Or that's what we're going to be doing. That's the energy of what we created, why we do these videos, to now come out and says, how can we help y'all? All right. This is consumer side though. This is for other just individual folks. Here it is. Good stuff. It's called Resume Match. So now, whether Resume Match, if you notice, 100% consumer side.
Mhm.
ATS, job posts to resume bullets. This is designed to say, here's what the post is. We've talked about that too, Ashley, where we
Yep.
says, hey, if you want to get past that ATS, that tracking system, automatic tracking system, ATS, your stuff better be tight,
Yeah, absolutely.
right? Now, beat
Hmm.
the ATS without sounding like a robot. And on
Hmm.
the flip side, I hear people says, hey, I got this one client who said that and I was helping her with business stuff, but she still needed to get a job just so she could use it as a funding source. So she says, oh my gosh, I think I'm being rejected because my stuff was done with AI.
Oh yeah, that
I says,
happens.
you probably sounded like this.
Very robotic. I talked
Yeah.
about that too.
Right. So now look at this. Get resume match. Use the free job post decoder. This is something that Ashley and I are in the process of creating. We don't create anything until we know there's demand though.
Yeah.
So if y'all don't let us know, I want that, we ain't making it. You know what I mean? We made this and it's designed to go out there and do so. Here it is. What you get fast: job decoder, bullet builder, cover letter and email scripts, ATS safe formatting rules. And then we talk about being 10 minutes to decode a posting. These are some maybe a little bit of internal stuff, but 5 bullets per row. Um, No fake credentials, no inflated claims. You'll learn how to write stronger truths. Now, when I'm writing a resume, Ashley, I ask a person what they do, and then they go, oh, I do this. Let's put that on the resume.
Hmm.
I don't want you to put that on the resume. I want you to tell me what was the effect of that?
Yeah. What
How did that
impact?
help?
Hmm.
And they can oftentimes not, they don't know. I don't know. I just came in, bro. I'm a cog. I said, from this day forward, you're no longer a cog in the wheel. What you are is an outcome producer. And I'm telling you, it empowers them. It says every seat you take up, I don't care if you're just typing in stuff, whatever, you are getting the company outcome that they could not otherwise get. That's the
Yep.
point.
Hmm.
How we then make ourselves unfireable is, to AI or anything else, is to say, yeah, this thing that I do takes a human in the mix.
Hmm. See, usually how I get to the truth with a lot of my clients. Sometimes just simply asking them what they do for a living and letting them kind of talk about it. And we have like a casual conversation. And then it's always that one thing that they didn't really think that they did. If I say, hey, like, if you are the person that was developing, let's say, a playbook or maybe policies and
Yeah,
procedures,
SOPs.
right? SOPs, like that means that you were able to design and implement that,
Right.
right? So
Yeah,
that's the way
that's
of like
good.
getting them to actually think through about, all of those things and all of those duties that lean into immediate impact and
That's
how they
good.
can sell that. So, yeah, usually
So
just
good.
casual conversation, they'll tell you what you
So
need to
good.
know.
So get this, y'all. Now, this is years of experience. I was director of workforce development for an organization. Prior to that, I wrote resumes, literally sat in an office and waited for people of a variety of backgrounds to come in, and I wrote their resumes and helped them out. Right. So this is what you're getting when I'm now saying um, how we put this together. It's look, AIO, GEO gets you embedded. A OAO gets you paid. Stuff that I'm
Mm.
like, put it in, bro. Anyway, so direct answer resume match is a job application toolkit that converts a specific job post into resume ready. So then you may be bringing us, especially if you're part of one of the other things that Ashley and I had thought about, how can we be a best service? Is saying, what if we had, our little association, the Ashran Association or something like that. People pay dues or the Ashran memberships. People are getting tired of memberships and subscription
Yeah.
services, but whatever. If you want to be a part of what we do, this is that $100 or that $120 you pay is that's $10 a month. Come on now.
Yeah.
You're probably going out getting a coffee.
A
That's taking
day.
more than that. But this could
Yeah.
help you or help a loved one.
Hmm.
This is the point. Anyway, so then if the resume match is doing its job, then it is designed to do these things. So here it is. Like, for example, we put in a target role title. I want to be a vice president. Right. I heard this one the other day
Hmm.
of people. And you go, okay. What is vice president of people? Somebody is asking to be a vice president of people. That's target role. And then we paste in, we do lots of stuff with people. Okay. So the ideal is that when and again, I don't have it all connected up here, y'all, but
Yeah.
you see it says here it's telling me that there's no JavaScript on this page, blah blah blah. So then it's not gonna do anything. But the point is that what we're bringing to you, if you want it, is this. Imagine you see a post, you know how Indeed will send you all kinds of jobs, and you go, I'm getting that job. Well, we help you match up stuff. That's the point. That's what this tool does.
Hmm.
The workflow, the plain solution, decode, build bullets, da da da, right? What's inside, da da da. So it's giving you all the stuff that's in here. Social proof, you can swap these for your real testimonials. So this is what we got some examples here. And then here's what we look at offering this to you for. This is the whole idea. I like to be 100% upfront and saying, no, it's not free.
Mm-mm.
It's not a lot, but it's something. Right? So the complete toolkit helps you apply better immediately. No fluff, just outputs you can use today. $78, $78.17 one time. And then we got add-on stuff here, $197 add-on different things. If it matters to you, you'll do it. That's all.
Hmm.
Will this guarantee a job? Of course, nothing's typical, implied, guaranteed, or even promised. We can't do that. But what we can say is you're going to be better than the other person because they're not using it. So use it. Is this keyword stuff? And that's another conversation when we talk about when somebody is trying to get their resume seen, we say, are you stuffing keywords in there just so that these ATS machines could find it? No, we're not doing that. And then we go into some other frequently asked questions like, well, what if I'm changing careers? Oh, even better.
Yeah.
We Ashley and I both get a kick out of I know I do. I can't speak for you, Ashley. But
Yeah.
I
I'm
get a
just.
kick out of, the transferable skills, stuff that they didn't even think they had. You use You just told us the approach you use. Here's what I do. And I did it the other day on somebody, and they were like, why are you asking me that? And I says, because I'm going to show you something. I
Hmm.
says, walk me through your typical day. Yeah. I said, they said, from the time I wake up, mhm, okay, I get up, pray, meditate, whatever, work out. I'm trying to find out how they move. Then I go, and in that conversation, I found out that she was just wasting. She was almost embarrassed when she was letting it come out of her mouth. She said, well, then I get on the phone and I start looking at, I said, how long does that typically take? She says, oh, I kind of do that. And then I'm waiting for her to go pick somebody up from so and so. Oh,
Hmm.
so that takes a couple hours. She said, yeah. This is then I might watch, my favorite stories. How long does that take? And she sits there and she'll eat something.
Hmm.
Oh. So what I'm trying to get to is, well, you just told me you're so busy that you couldn't do XYZ, the homework that I had signed. Well, yeah, but I like the show. Okay. Well, you must like them more than you like the idea because she was starting a
Yeah.
business and stuff.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
said, so you must like that more than you like
Just starting your
starting your
business.
business. You put time into your business already. You put time in. Here it
Yeah.
is. Here's your product. I said, you telling me that you won't peel away. And then so then you kind of, don't want to shame people, but you
Yeah.
just have them walk you through. I used to do this with people when I was, when they were trying to find work. I says, do you want to work? Yes. Okay. What do you do now? Not work. Well, walk me through your day. And they start walking me through the day. Well, I got to wait to get Junior off the bus at 3. Oh, well, and I usually, take somebody to, on an appointment. Oh, using up gas. And then I walk them through, especially people that are like looking for work, but then are doing all this other stuff. I
Yeah.
says, can I walk you through what your time is worth?
Hmm.
And it's just a real simple exercise. Here's what your time is worth. What would you like feel comfortable with making a year? And they tell me, oh, 60 grand. Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Here's a typical work week. And I just do the math. I says, here's what, if you were working another concern, what you could be bringing into the household. The very thing you said you wanted to do.
Hmm.
And then I just do math. So now what this does is empowers them and not make them feel bad. I says, going forward, and it's like I say, the math is like, hey, if I work 2080, 2080 hours, that's 52 hours, 52 weeks times 40 hours a week. Okay. Well, yeah, but I want to take time off. Okay. So let's subtract out 2 weeks, hours wise. You see what I'm doing? So,
I
okay,
see
we're going to
exactly what you're
subtract
doing.
80 hours. So 2080, now you got 2000 hours that you could be working. Okay. And you say you want to make what? Oh, I want to make this. And it usually comes out to some really interesting numbers. So 2000 hours. So let's say they wanted to make 60 grand a year and they said that would do some pretty good stuff. Divide that by you divide the 60 grand. I mean, you probably already worked it out, but you divide that by the 2000 hours. And that will tell you, well, that's $30 an hour. That's what your time is worth.
Hmm.
They go, wait, what? I said, so two things are happening. You're stealing $30 an hour from yourself, or others are. Do you steal? And they go, no, I don't steal. Do you like people who steal from you? And it changes everything. I said, so next time somebody asks you to do something, I know how big your heart is, fine. You says, I would really love to, but I got to get $30 for that. And people are
Baby,
going to
that's
be like, wait, what?
yeah.
Well, that's what, if I was working a job, I would, and I'm trying to find work. So I got to honor the time.
Hmm.
And then you can blame me. I says, my coach is telling me that it's not me, it's him. And then they can hate on me, but you now are aware.
Yeah.
What it does for people is they go, I said, so you can give your TV $30, but is it giving you back 30 bucks? Is Netflix giving you back $30? And they're going,
Honestly,
no, it charges me. I says, that's the point.
yeah.
And it changes everything actually. So with this right here, when we think about how we bring this kind of information to you, y'all, we're not trying to shame you. We're literally saying you've got something worth sharing with others. And why we put this together and are finishing it up is because we believe that if you are using these tools, the resume match, or if you're a business and you're, asking us to help you with this other aspect, then it's worth your time.
Mm.
We're going to solve that pain that just won't go away. I can't stand pains like that. They call them chronics, chronic pain, chronically. And now finally, you won't have to because we
Yeah.
got all the tools for you. That's all. 2026 resume match toolkit. It's more stuff that we add to depending on where you're at. If you buy it, boom, here it is. But if you say, well, I don't want to become a member of that and get some of the upgrades, that's the play. That's it. So if this is something, and this is my ask, if you see something on here and you go, I'm liking it, well, we're gonna leave something in the description field for you. I'll probably leave either a way to get on my calendar, but that could be kind of like, oh my gosh, it could be busy, super busy because we're helping customers and stuff. But we will find a way, maybe a link that just takes you to where it is that you want. And it will
Mhm.
automatically trigger once you buy it, once you go, I want it, then we know. Is that fair enough? Is that cool?
Yeah.
All right, cool, cool. All right. Let me um let me do something here, Ash. So, okay, let's kind of wrap this up with what are your thoughts on this particular resume match toolkit? You're
I
kind of
actually
quiet over there. I saw you like,
No, because I was taking it all in. This is your first time showing me too. So I love both aspects. With resume match, I think it is something that is in dire need today when you're trying to make sure that your resume can withstand the ATS system, but then also not sounding too robotic because those resumes can be thrown in the trash as well. Well, the metaphorically trash since everything's digital. But essentially, I like that. It's just like I want to dig more into like how this can truly assist you, especially when it comes down to preparing that resume for any of the roles that could be taken essentially by AI. So we want to make sure you can stand up against that to say, hey, this is why you should hire me. So that resume match toolkit would be very, very beneficial in
yeah,
that.
I can imagine us as a part of, add-on services, help people with that as well. It's
Hmm.
like, okay, I used to never like to ask people that are out there looking for work for money because, hey, look, I ain't gonna work, bro.
Right.
So,
Right.
but now it is, well, the slow way is that way. The faster way is doing something like this. And the
Hmm.
faster way for most things, for the speed, we just say invest in yourself, invest in speed. But we don't push. We just go like it or not like it.
Hmm.
Here it is. It's available to you. I just want you to get in there before that other person comes and gets your job. Just saying.
I'm just
Just saying.
saying.
Don't let them get your job, y'all.
Mm-mm.
All right, so we'll go ahead and leave all the things that we need to leave for you to decide on this, and then perhaps we'll see you inside of one of the customer journey, customer support tickets. All right,
Oh yeah.
talk soon.